SuperGood. Wow, that's hard for me to say. By Duckwrth.
SuperGood.
No O. It is 16 songs,
songs.
44 minutes to the dot. I wish it was 4:44.
Right. I think we had another like 444
Yeah.
album. But anyways, we talked about Duckwrth a little bit. He's gotten some like Grammy industry sort of attention from his like recent work.
Some stuff with like the Spider-Man films and other stuff.
Yeah, The Fallen Man was his last project that we reviewed on Audioface, and we felt it was pretty good. It was just very much like an EP drop sort of thing. So it was a collection of songs, not fully complete, but it showed a lot of range, even though it was a little bit disorganized. It showed that range was definitely there. You get to SuperGood, and you get a lot of range in a rap album. You get pretty much everything. A little bit of electronic music, a little bit of trap in the beginning.
Like you get trap and B, you get hip hop, you get some electronic beats. It's a lot.
There's some house. It's really interesting and kind of holding and piecing. It's interesting and it's up to interpretation what is holding and piecing the album together more broadly.
My thing is that it almost like for the first maybe 5-6 tracks, it feels like just one giant continuous song because the way each track goes into the other song, it just keeps going and flowing and flowing. And I really enjoyed that part with it because within the Money, we have New Love Song starting it off. I think is a great little, almost like a trap and B style without too much trap style of rap going into Money Downs, which is a little bit more upbeat tempo of trap and B.
It does what a lot of albums, really quickly, it does what a lot of albums do contemporarily, where even if they're not going to be trap heavy, they start with their trappy songs to kind of get
suck you in. Yeah,
and then they continue.
The thing with it is, I like that it kind of continues on and morphs into a really gorgeous album because the thing with that genre is if you chop it up and bring it into different songs, it can get static to me. It can get like a little monotonous. Sometimes I felt like that on Ventura with Anderson .Paak a couple of times, where just like, because after a while I was like, okay, I know like your song and dance, what you can do. Let's see how you connect it into the rest of it to make it a little more cohesive instead of just being generic. And it definitely does that because all these songs, especially in that first half of the album, are quite different, where they're doing different things within the genre. They're doing adding electronic beats to it. There's a couple songs like I think Coming Closer right after Kiss You Right Now in the middle of the album is like, that beat is amazing. I love the use of electronics on it. The voice of Julia Romana is awesome into it. I really like it. Right before that, you have Kiss You Right Now, which is kind of this cool little slow down right after all the trap and B. And it's almost the like love ballad of like, I don't give a fuck who's around right now. I just want to kiss you right now. Like you're my woman. You're my thing. That's just, I don't care. I just want to. I just want to smooch. Yes. Exactly. It's just pure like infatuation with someone. Like I get that. I like right after Coming Close. I can say what you mean. Do you notice again with Julia Romana?
Wait, really fast. Did we go into Quick too much? Because that was one of my favorite things from the top of it.
Oh no, we can.
The song Quick in the beginning is sort of like this. It's trap and B, but it has like a really tight trap beat, so you might think of it as a trap song. But there's enough singing in it. There were a lot of really good singers in here that really complement.
They're fantastic. Yeah.
Julia Romana pops up for a couple of different songs and does a really good job in it. But it always adds this like. Eminem was kind of like the force of all of them, where like he could sing and he could rap and he had all these collaborators at once. Duckwrth isn't quite that, but once you add the collaborators and
the collaborators are fantastic.
Singers, it's really good. It really ties the whole thing together.
I think it's the Kid Cudi form of like the tracks by like Duckwrth by himself is good, but when you bring in a bunch of other people who still go along with the thing, who don't necessarily make it their own, but complement him well, fantastic. I think this is one of my favorite. Even Super Bounce with Earth Gang, I think was very good.
This is my first time actually realizing Earth Gang was on it, but it totally makes sense.
Oh yeah, because we reviewed Earth Gang last year, I like to say.
Revenge of the Dreamers
last year, yeah. And it's one of those things where I saw with Earth Gang, I'm like, okay, this will be interesting to see how their sounds mix, because they're a little bit different, and it did well. All of his collaborators on this album, I think, hit it on the nail on the head. I think it did it to where every song was cohesive, which is very hard to do, and I applaud it because there's a lot of albums that you see with different collaborations and then just fell flat because sometimes they put too much of their own spin on it. But again, I love it where especially the first half of the album feels like it's one continuous song going up until about Coming Closer, and then it stops, and then it kind of picks back up where some of the songs flow together, some of them stop and get a little bit slower towards it, which I like because instead of chopping it up into just boom, boom, song, song, song. I think it's a very good thing for this album.
The album adjusts pace, and
Yes.
it does that in a very complimentary, easy to
I
listen to
didn't
way.
feel like it was running long whatsoever. Like 16 songs is a lot, but it didn't feel like at any moment I wanted like, all right, let me skip on to the next one. It was just next thing I know, I'm like, oh shit, I'm in another song.
Yeah.
Because that happened to me I had to listen to this album twice through because the first listen through I go, whoa, okay, wait, I'm into another song. Okay, let me see what happens again. It really doesn't feel long at all. It feels like it's only like 35 minutes to me because it just flows so well. Construction of it's fantastic.
Last two songs, SuperGood and Find a Way.
Yes.
As far as our like 2020, how does the album
How does the album end, right?
How does the album end check real quick? I think it's
I think
not
it's
to borrow from one of the title tracks and the name of the album. It's super good. It's pretty good. It lands the album pretty nicely.
I don't think it's anything spectacular, but it's a fitting ending for it. It still goes within the flow of it, slows it down like it should, but it's nothing like Contact.
Because that's the last part of the album where like I feel like Super Bounce and Super Good could have been like complementary songs that go together, not just because of the titling, but I think because like the motifs and themes flow through it very well. But you have some songs like Weekend, Tuesday, World on Wheels, which complement the vibe of the album, and they do extend it, but it wasn't one of those extensions where I look at my phone and I go, when does this album end? I was actually, like you said, Sean, really happy with the pacing of the album and how it ended really well.
Very good. Yeah, I was surprised. I still think Eminem's, I think his flow is a little bit better and stuff within like this genre of like trap and B, hip hop, like this
alternative trap
and B.
Which is, I think we both agree, is where all the interesting shit is currently
happening. Oh, this is my favorite shit. I think it's, yeah, exactly, because they're the ones who I always say, trap can be good. You just have to mix it up and do different things, which the mainstream trap artists, for the most part, you have your exceptions, kind of still do the same thing over and over and over again, and it just gets monotonous. The people who mix it up with different stuff is fantastic. You get the same thing in rock and EDM and pretty much any genre, in indie even. Yeah.
The great thing is that we're finally starting to experience what it's like when the music industry as a whole kind of like follows Audioface. Seriously. And so the ones that are blowing up right now are the people who are trying stuff different with trap. And then like your Migos, your all of those are sort of like falling by the wayside, kind of as it should be. Let's crash some. Let's crash some metal, shall we?
All right, this is like it's solid. Okay, this is 2 crashes
on an arbitrary scale this week, which is Indy 500 car crashes.
Yes, because this is going on right now. This is like a 10-car pile up, but when you like you clear all the cars, you're still in caution, so you can slow down, and then 3 other cars crash during the caution flag. That's this album. I was like, damn, this shit's good. Oh, another crash! You slowed down, you idiot! Yeah.
In this case, more crashes is better for the record.
Oh yeah, by the way, exactly.
I'll second that. I'll go with that. It's a really proper good album.